Now if you're putting your bike back onto the road for the summer and it's been stood a long time, it's been stored up for the winter, then there's a few things that you should check before you take out on the road, and one of the most important things is the chain. In this case it wasn't done, so we've pulled it out of the garage and it's gone stiff. There are tight spots all over it. It's basically gone rusty. It's just an absolute mess. What will happen now if we attempt to ride this bike is, first of all, it will wreck the sprockets. It will chew all the teeth up on the sprockets. Worse than that, it might even snap, wind itself around the front sprocket, wreck the engine, and worse still, it could actually pitch me off as I'm riding it. So we don't want that to happen. So we're going to replace the chain. We're going to actually put this on it. Look at that, a pretty red chain. This is an EK chain from a company called Lintec Gleave. They're the only people who do coloured chains like this. They do them in reds, blues, greens. I think they do a yellow as well. So we thought we'd stick that on because it looks a bit different. So first job is we need to get rid of this horrible old chain. Something wrong with these gloves. There you go, we're on. We're on now, stop firing. Now you're probably wondering what I'm doing with this on. I'm supposed to be wearing goggles, you see, and this is Gary's workshop, my mate Gaz's workshop. I can't find anything, Gary's not here, so I've nicked one of his old helmets, a bit of eye protection, because I'm going to use this grinding wheel. You can get a tool to remove the old chain, to get one of the old links out, but it's a lot quicker and it's just as easy to use this. The chain is knackered anyway, so I'm not going to knacker things up anymore. Only thing you've got to be careful of here, we're going to grind the top off 2 pins there, and then we're going to drive the link out. Things to watch, make sure that doesn't hit your swing arm, doesn't catch your chain guard, your tyre or anything else. So let's give it a go. Right, that's done the job. What we've done there, all I've done is basically, I've ground off the top of those 2 pins. So it's nice and shiny now, nice flat surface. That will now flip off that side plate and then we'll be able to push the link out. So it just needs a little bit of gentle persuasion. There we go, we're almost there now. A little bit more, that'll pop off. And we'll be able to just push the link out. There you go. Right then, so here we go. All we need to do now is push that link out. There it comes out, nice and simple. And there is the chain now undone, ready to come off the bike. But we're not going to pull it off the bike, because if we pull it off, we're not going to get the new one round the front sprocket down there, because we can't actually get to the front sprocket. So we're going to connect the new one to this here, to the top run of this chain here. We're just going to put the link through, put the pin through, and then we'll pull it round, thread it through, so it's in position. There we are, there's the new one coming through behind the old one, so we'll get that horrible old chain out of the way. We'll pull that through now. This is where we discover whether or not we've been supplied with the right length of chain, and as you can see, absolutely perfect there. So now it's a case of riveting this new one together. And for that we need this. This is the connecting link. What I've done here is I've greased the actual surface of the inside of the plate there, and it's got little O-rings on it there, new O-rings fitted. So that goes in from the back. Then it's a case of tightening it up, and that will push the outer plate on. What we need then is this. This is a heavy-duty whacker, a chain maker or whatever you want to call it, borrowed from my very friendly local bike shop. So if you've got a bike shop that you're on good terms with, they might let you borrow one of these, or they may even rent them out or whatever. What we do, that fits on there. There's a little recess in the back there, so that goes there, and that pin sits in that recess. Then it's a case of inserting the centre pin and picking a reference point which you need to set at 12 o'clock. There you go, 3. That'll do that. You don't need to go mad. 3 o'clock now. Each link of course has 2 pins, so we'll move the tool and repeat the process. That should do the job. Take that out, back that off, and there we go, look at that. A beautiful link with the ends nicely bashed over. You can't tell the difference between that and the factory fitted one. You know, I think I could almost make a mechanic one day. Well, almost anyway, but the job was made easier because I had the right tools for the job, things like that there, borrowed from my local friendly bike dealer. Get the right tool for the job, as we're always telling you, it will make life a lot easier. All I need to do now, of course, is tension the chain with the little adjusters on the back, tighten the back spindle up and all that, and jobs are good 'un. If you've got a new chain on your bike, look after it. If you've not got a new chain, look after the chain you've got. Otherwise, you'll finish up with the same problem as I had, and it will cost you a fortune, or it could cost you a fortune to put it right. Here we have a whole host of things that will help you to look after your chain. All sorts of different lubricants and all sorts. There's a gel there, titanium jelly it is, or tit gel as we call it in the trade. But there's all sorts there. All different things. Things for clear chains, things for coloured chains, O-ring chains, non-O-ring chains. It's a massive world change. If you're not sure, go into your shop, ask for some advice. Ask the lads behind the counter. They know best. Little one at the end there, you could stick that in your pocket, couldn't you? Put it under your seat or whatever. So if you're going out for a long ride, the weather's bad, you've got something to lubricate your chain with. Do it on the move. Speaking of which, things like this, which we've all seen before, that's a touring kit with a great big reservoir like that that goes behind your number plate. So if you're doing thousands of miles, that will help preserve and prolong the life of your chain. Some people would say that Scott Oilers only actually lubricate one side of your chain. Well, they've addressed the problem because they've got this now, a dual injector, and as you can see there quite clearly, goes down both sides of your chain. All those there are all aerosols. Trouble with an aerosol is you get a can that big and only half of it really, or 2/3 of it, is full of the product. The rest is propellant. So there are other things like this. This does the same thing. It's one that you actually squeeze on yourself. It's not an aerosol, not a propellant, but it does the same job, £4 odd. There's all sorts, tons and tons of stuff to look after your chain. So there we go. Job is finished. All we want now is a bit of sunshine.